Okay, we're gonna go live. Do our picks after this. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Are y'all ready? When my man Dave come through pretty soon, talk about the picks this week, week 2. Ready to get started. Let me put the link in here. What's going on? One link to come. There you go. There go the link. So the link is in the thing, in the chat. If you want to come on, see I one viewer. Hi, welcome to Korey's Daily Pick Week 2 picks. You'd like to come on in and join me? The link is in the chat, and we can. You don't have to be on camera. Well, if I don't know you, I need you to at least show me your face in the backstage, and then go from there. I want to get time for people to come in. So, how do y'all feel about this week 2? 49ers versus Seahawks game. I can't wait. So YTC, how you doing? What's good, Corey, man? How are you doing? Been on short. I'll be on shortly. I'm just cleaning my room up. Okay. So, well, let me just go over what I did last week. On week 1, how did I do? I'm trying to wait for people to come in. So let me just say what I did on week 1. I got the Buffalo game right. I got the New Orleans Atlanta game right. Chicago and 49ers, I got it wrong. Here's my David McNeil.
What's going on, buddy?
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good.
So I was right now just going over my week 1 sheet. How I did. I went out 8 out of 7 in one tie.
I honestly gotta look. Where did I put that? I was 8 and 7 going into the. Well, I remember the one tie I was counting as a loss, I think. But yeah, I was the same. Didn't we have one different though? No, we had 2 different.
Yeah. I know.
I don't have them right in front of me.
I know. the Green Bay game, we were different. I can't think of the other game that we were different. Who did you pick up?
Yeah, I thought we had two. I don't remember where I put it, but yeah. Oh, it's right there. It's right here. Hold on. Yeah, it was 8-7. I had the Vikings winning the Packers game.
Yeah.
What did we have that was different?
What did you have for Tampa Bay and Dallas?
Tampa Bay and Dallas. I think I had Tampa.
Tampa. Did Bryant?
Is it Bryant?
Yep.
Hey, what up, buddy?
Hey guys.
Brian, do you remember what you did last week? Week 1?
I went back and I rewatched the video, and I was just listening for my scores. I believe I went 8-8.
Okay.
Was there
There was a tie.
yeah, so I counted the tie as the loss.
Okay.
So I can tell you my teams real quick if I got this correct. So I picked the Bills. I picked the Bills won. Picked the Saints, they won. I picked the Niners, they lost. Cincinnati lost. Miami won. Ravens won. Jacksonville lost. Carolina lost. Indy tied. Eagles won. Tennessee lost. Packers lost. Kansas City win. Chargers win. Tampa win. Broncos lost. And that comes out to 8-8 if I count the tie as a loss.
Yeah. Same. I say I got the same thing too. I should go ahead and say I was at 8 and 7-1. So I just if I just count the tie losses. 8-8. Oh, here's somebody else. I'm sorry.
I was just looking at everything going. I am 8-8, counting the tie as a loss.
Hello,
Come out for 500, man. That's like that's not
Salute to you guys.
What's up,
What's up,
YTC?
man? What's up, fellas? So we're going over the week. Yeah, I went 8-7-1 for me.
Okay, so do you want to count the tie as just a tie then?
Yeah, I have a separate category for my video purposes as its own category. Yeah.
So how are we going to do it, guys? Are we going to count the tie as a loss, or are we count the tie as a tie?
I just count it as a category. Its own category.
Yeah, let's just count it as a tie. That way we can say we have winning record.
Yeah.
I mean, either way, it's
Yeah,
above at 500 or above. So, but yeah, I just wrapped up a podcast earlier, but yeah, just got in here and cleaned up my room.
Okay, so the Thursday night game
Tomorrow.
Got LA Chargers at Kansas City.
Ooh.
Kansas City. It's in Kansas City. I'll take the Chiefs on home.
Yeah, I'll take the Chiefs because I think Mahomes is on a mission.
Yeah, me too.
Mahomes has been playing lights out so far, yeah.
Well, he has to prove all the haters wrong about not having Tyreek Hill,
Yeah, he already started that process last week for 300-plus yards and 5 passing touchdowns.
Something tells me to take the Chargers. So I'm going to take the Chargers.
Take the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm going to be the odd man out. And I think the Chiefs can do it. They definitely have a mission, but the Chargers have a mission too. They're getting better and better. They're like that dark horse. So.
Oh, Brian, Brian, I'm sorry, I forgot to ask you. Did you get the sheet?
Oh, I can get one. I got a sheet right now. I don't have one print.
I
it out,
sent
but I'll
one to you. I don't know. Maybe I sent one in your messenger. On
Okay.
Facebook.
All right.
I have a notebook for keeping track, but that's about it.
Okay.
I wrote the entire season out on my notebook. That's how I keep track of my record. So yeah, I write down every single score.
Okay. Okay, Sunday, September 18th. The New York Jets at Cleveland.
I'm taking the Browns.
I'm taking the Browns too. I'd be surprised if the Jets beat the Browns.
I wouldn't be shocked if they beat them as well. I wouldn't be shocked. This game
What
can go
about
either
you,
way, but I'll
David?
take the Browns.
Oh, I'm taking the Browns.
I'll go
Ryan,
Browns.
Browns.
The Brownies, yeah.
Okay, we all Browns. Okay, next game. Washington at Detroit.
I got to take Washington on that one, even though
The toilet bowl.
the toilet bowl, yeah, but I'm taking the commies to win the toilet bowl.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. We'll go Washington.
I'm going Lions.
I'm hoping you're right.
Okay. Tampa Bay at New Orleans.
Tampa Bay and New Orleans. Okay, I'm taking the Buccaneers.
Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm.
Dave,
I'm taking the Bucks.
Bryant,
I will take Bucks.
and I'm taking the Bucks too. Excuse me. Okay. It's a team that's the guys on here. Carolina.
All
At
right.
New York Giants.
I'm taking my team. Obviously, I think we can win this one at Carolina, at home at Carolina.
Is it at it's
a
so
MetLife.
Okay.
I go Giants.
Okay, David.
I'm going Giants. I have no faith in Baker Mayfield.
I'm going Giants too.
All right.
Okay. New England Patriots at Steelers.
Steelers.
The Patriots looked horrible last week, didn't they?
Yeah, the whole thing looked horrible. Yeah, I'm taking the Steelers. That defense alone will win them the game.
Yeah.
Yep. Pittsburgh.
David.
Steelers.
Okay, Indianapolis Colts at Jacksonville.
Colts.
Jacksonville.
Really? All right.
And
One
David?
upset.
I'm gonna take the Colts.
I'm gonna take the Colts too. Even though I was thinking about Jacksonville, but I'll take the Colts. Okay, next, Miami at Baltimore.
Baltimore Ravens.
David,
I'm going to say Miami.
Miami.
All
David,
right.
I'm taking the Dolphins.
All right. 2 upsets.
I'm going with the
All right.
Ravens.
All right. 2v2.
Okay. Next one is Atlanta at LA Rams.
I'm taking the Rams at home.
David,
I think the Falcons will fail. So the Rams.
Brian.
I'd like to see Atlanta win, but something says it's going to be the Rams. I'm going to go Rams.
Yeah, I would love to see. I would love to see the Rams lose. I love.
That'd be hilarious if they lose to the Falcons.
I love the Falcons to win, but yeah, I'm going with the Rams too.
Hmm.
Okay, our game. Seattle at the 49ers.
49ers rebound. I'll get the Niners here.
David?
I think we're going to be. I think the guys are going to be playing pissed off. So 49ers.
Brian?
This is a team that every year we play this team and they give us the hardest game of the year. We play them twice. They've had our number since 2002. We're 30-17 against them overall record. We're gonna be mad. We might be too mad coming into this game. This could really be a big upset for us if we go 0-2. But as a faithful Niner fan, I don't want to root for my team to lose. I always believe I have a chance. I'm going to say Niners, but this game could get out of hand real quick.
Yeah, that's the thing that with me is Seattle had our number for many years, and every time I think that we're gonna beat them, that we got them, boom, something happened. Just like when Garoppolo went down the field, scored at 7 points, and everything was going good for us. Everything, and all of a sudden, second half, the ball goes up, kick, and what I gotta do? On the ball, right there on the 1 yard line. I'm like, oh, here we go. It's about to turn over. But I'm kind of hoping, I'm praying that this is the year that we beat Seattle. Because I don't want to see Seattle quarterback, Mr. What's his name?
Geno Smith.
Geno Smith grabbing Goodwin butt. Y'all see that picture?
That was a little weird.
Oh yeah, Marquise Goodwin. I forgot that photo. Yeah, he grabbed this man's
weird.
ass.
He was downright molesting the man.
Yeah, he just grabbed him like, "You're my property now."
So I don't want to see them doing that.
It's a good win and grabbed him some. Huh? It's like group showers, everybody for celebrating. No.
Oh man.
No, that was and they
awkwardness
totally
after that during the group showers as they stared at each other.
Yeah, it's just they caught it on camera. That was the funny part about it. And wow.
And okay. Well, next game, Cincinnati at the Cowboys, who lost their quarterback.
Yeah, they lost Dak. They're not winning. We don't trust Cooper Rush.
Me either.
Bengals, Cooper Rush is trash.
Yeah. Not even Ben DiNucci can save him either. Or Wilger.
Yeah, Bengals. I've heard even rumors of Tony Romo coming back out to go play for him, and that ain't happening.
Tony Romo.
That's not happening. I don't think the Niners are going to trade. I don't think the Niners are trading Jimmy to the Cowboys either. I don't think he wants to go there, and I don't think the Niners want to let him go.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
There's rumors about Jimmy. Dallas Cowboys coming after Jimmy now. But I don't think that's going to happen. They might as well stick after 6 weeks, like.
Or they could trade for Brock Purdy, not stop.
Mhm.
You might be better than Cooper Rush.
Okay. Houston at Denver.
I'll take the Broncos to rebound at home.
I went Broncos last time, and they didn't pull it out for me there. They didn't know what they were doing at the end of the game, or really a couple of times during the game. So I'm gonna go Houston. I think Houston might just pull this one out.
It's at Denver, right?
Mile High. What's up,
Then
TRS?
I'm going with the Broncos.
Yeah, I'm taking the Broncos at home. Mile High.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Broncos, even though the Texans.
What? I wouldn't be shocked if the Texans win too. So I wouldn't be shocked.
With them tying, didn't they play the Colts? They the one tied with the Colts, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm like, maybe they got something going on there. Maybe they got something going on over there. So, but I'm still gonna stick with Denver. I still think Russell Wilson, Denver, they're gonna come back mad, bounce back from that loss. So TRL,
What's up?
how you doing?
Good. How are you guys doing?
We're all right.
We're just going over the picks.
Yeah.
We
both did.
But yeah, I got Broncos bouncing back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Arizona at Las Vegas.
I took the Cardinals to rebound here as well.
Me too.
I'm gonna say Raiders. It's at home. I don't believe in the Cardinals.
I'm going to Arizona. Bryant, is he gone? Oh no, there you go.
Yeah, he picked the Raiders. I'm picking the Cardinals because I think Josh McDaniels is just playing horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I said this game is 50-50. Main reason why I said I think we're gonna win is because I feel like Kyler's coming in this game pissed off because he played his ass off the other week, even for a guy that got blown out, and people were blaming the loss on him still. And in the post game, he was super pissed about it. So I feel like he is taking this week to really focus and really try to get the team back on their chemistry and try to rebound. And that's why I think we're gonna win this week. So I'll pick.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think so too. I think Arizona's gonna bounce off of that and beat the Raiders, even though they both teams lost. But I just think Arizona gonna bounce back.
I am prepared to go 0-2 though, but I think we're gonna win. So.
Okay. Chicago Bears at Green Bay.
Packers.
Packers.
David? Brian?
Packers.
I gotta go
Yeah.
Packers.
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 Green Bay.
Me too. Even though I would love to see Chicago beat Green Bay, I would love it. Plus, since I had this morning, last night, this Green Bay fan texted me and say, y'all lost to Chicago.
That was a fluke random game.
And they said,
Chicago's about to get humbled this week anyway, so.
He said, fuck the 49ers. I said,
A lot of teams are.
so I sent him a message back and said, I hope even though I feel like the Green Bay gonna win, I hope they lose. But I can't go against them. I'm gonna go ahead and pick Green Bay.
Oh, my children fell.
But I wouldn't be mad if I got that wrong. Oh, we got 2 Monday nights. I didn't see that.
Yeah, we have a doubleheader on Monday night, so yeah.
Bills Titans.
Okay, Tennessee Titans at Buffalo Bills.
Bills.
Buffalo at home.
Titans are frauds. I said that from the beginning.
I go Buffalo Bills too. David Bryan.
I'm gonna have to go Bills. I mean, they looked very complete against the Rams.
Bills.
Yeah. Buffalo's a whole different level of offense and defense, so yeah.
Okay, Minnesota Vikings at Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh? You mean Philadelphia?
I'm sorry, Philadelphia. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it wrong.
I'm gonna have to go Vikings.
Vikings. Dalvin Cook's about to run all over that defense if they let DeAndre Swift ran all over them.
I picked Minnesota.
Yeah. They're going to run all over that Eagles defense.
Philly,
they can't stop a nosebleed.
Philly doesn't have an answer for their offense. So.
Yeah.
Especially allowing 35 from the Lions.
Yep. And DeAndre Swift cooking their run defense. I already imagine what Dalvin Cook's going to do to them.
I'm going with the Vikings too.
Yeah, Vikings.
David Vikings.
Oh yeah, Vikings.
Okay, now how you doing? You do the points thing. Did break the tie for us?
Spread?
Is this?
What are you talking? Spread? Over and unders?
I think he's talking total for the whole game.
Yeah, over and unders. Yeah, I'm assuming. I can pull it up now if you want. If you're looking for the over and under or spread.
It's the total points in the both Monday night football games. Total points scored in both Monday night football games.
I think the over for that game is 51.5, I think, for the Vikings game. I took the over on that one.
Okay.
Let's go. One more sub from 3.5K.
So now, did y'all hear anything about the Aaron Rodgers? Said about his receivers and stuff.
Yeah, he threw him under the bus, basically. Hey, listen, with the way he's looking with his receivers, I might be content to actually beat him week 5. He might actually strangle one of the fucking receivers in the airplane in London or some shit.
In other words, he misses Devontae Adams.
Yep.
You don't trust none of those receivers.
Wow.
Children.
Well, who do they got? I mean, when it comes to names, they have nobody, right? I mean,
they got
a rookie.
Old man Randall Cobb. He's washed now. They got Alan Lazard and Romeo Dobbs and a bunch of other randoms.
Sammy Watkins.
Don't they have that Christian Watson kid?
Yeah, he hasn't done nothing yet.
Yeah. Rodgers has to be familiar with who he wants to throw it. He's got to get a favorite. And then once he gets comfortable with somebody, then he'll start producing. But I don't think the team is behind him right now. That he took a pretty ugly shot right there with the pay cut and the wanting to leave.
No, but if they do manage to limp it to the playoffs, they'll be first round exits. I can tell with the Packers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So do y'all think he's right the way he's doing it, the way he going to the media and saying things, or do you think he should just keep it in the house?
Keep it in the house. You don't throw your receivers under the bus in front of the media.
It's only week 1, too. There's still 16.
Yeah, that's overreacting. Yeah.
Plus, they're
I keep calling him Aaron Rodgers and say he's got no love for the game, and that's just showing it right there.
No love for the game, no love for his teammates, and no love for his family members.
NFC's up for grabs. Anybody can make the playoffs this year in the NFC.
Yeah, definitely. Shoot, it might take actually 8 wins just to make the 7th seed. That's how bad it is.
I said that too when I called out my own fan base. I was like, "You guys are overreacting. We lost to Kansas City. Like, calm down."
Mhm.
Oh,
It wins
so
might
how
actually.
we doing?
It wins.
How we doing the points for Monday for the tiebreaker? What are we gonna do? Just total points?
Isn't it combined points by both teams?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I meant. Total points.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like it. So basically, an over and under. I don't know.
I haven't done one of those in forever.
I do it on a weekly basis now. Over and unders now with spread picks. Just go on FanDuel, see what the spread is, record everything, and then basically get my picks. I took a lot of pluses this week and a lot of unders. So yeah.
So, what do you think the score going to be in Buffalo and Tennessee?
I said 35-23.
Hang on, let me check my video. I forgot. Sometimes I forgot.
Yeah, that was my prediction on my video. 35-23. Buffalo.
I'm gonna have to check. Hang on.
I was thinking like maybe like 28-17 Buffalo.
Mhm. Hang on, let me check. Click on it.
Yep.
Lower the volume. Hang on. All right. Hang on. Broncos, no. Packers, no. Oh yeah, I have Buffalo winning a close game with the under. I took the under on that one. 20-17.
Okay.
Because I think it'll be a defensive battle from both teams. So yeah.
I don't trust Tennessee's defense at all.
Well, that depends. Is Tennessee getting their pass rushers back? Because I think they were missing a couple guys that first game.
I would say it'd be like that bad, but I mean,
No, but both teams like to run the ball, so
we saw Saquon go off, but the thing is, the Bills don't have a running back that's near his level, so they don't really. Have to,
no, but they have good run blockers.
yeah,
They have better run blockers that are more experienced than my Giants, so that's why they're able to run the ball.
I'm honestly thinking it's going to be 31-15 Buffalo.
But yeah, I said 20-17 close game. I took the under on that one.
Yeah, I'm thinking more
I
like
just
what
don't
Dave's thinking. 31 to
I'm-
like 13.
As for the Eagles one, I took the 35-28 over the Vikings over the Eagles by a touchdown.
I said
35-28.
32-28 was my prediction. I had the Vikings winning.
Vikings, I think it's going to be closer. I think it's going to be 24-21. About Buffalo.
I said by a touchdown, but yeah. I had the Niners, by the way, winning 20-13 and a somewhat low scoring.
24-19, I had the Niners winning in a close one.
By a touchdown, it'll be low scoring for the majority of the game until the Niners run away with it at the end.
Again, I'm hoping they activate Danny Gray and deactivate Malik Turner. I mean, that kid is going to change the field.
Was
He's fast.
he injured? Because I saw him in preseason, he wasn't that bad.
He was because it was going to be a rainy game. They figured that his speed wouldn't be much of a factor. So he
Then
was
I took Then I took the Cardinals 31-24. Yeah,
That's so stupid. It doesn't matter.
31-24.
You don't have George Kittle. You need to put as many weapons out there.
You better get Ross Dwelly open or something. You better start connecting with Dwelly
I'm with you. It doesn't make sense to
and Tyler
deactivate
Croft
him.
and also Tyler Laura Croft nonstop.
I don't know if George Kittle's playing, but yeah, that's not.
I don't think he is because he didn't practice today.
We had a lot of
Yeah,
guys.
they practice this Friday.
Mm-hmm.
They can wait all the way till Friday. And then
I mean, geez,
practices
we
in,
got
then we'll know. But
J.J. Watt's still out. Jalen Thompson got hurt.
Yeah, we have a lot of guys out too.
Yeah,
I'm hoping my Giants get the pass rushers back this week. So that's why I'm having us winning. We're going to get our pass rushers back.
And I think Rondell Moore is still out with his hamstring issues, so we're probably just going to have Hollywood Brown on there again.
And Victor Bolden, I'm assuming Victor Bolden's about to get playing time.
Back to squad, we took
Oh, damn.
Hollywood, Greg Dortch, and Andy Lubella.
You said Wesley wasn't even playing either, too. So
No.
unless he's coming back.
And Zach Ertz, I don't know what's going on with him, but you know.
Yeah, like they say, I want to see Mason running the ball. I think I think we made a mistake of keeping
Also, outside of Saquon, I want to see more of Matt Breida. Speaking of former Niners, him get some carries too, so we don't have to run down Saquon. We just split carries.
Matt Breida's a burner, man. He's a good change of pace back.
And that's exactly. That's why I want to split carries, so we don't end up risking Saquon getting hurt again.
He's also pretty good at catching them out of the backfield too.
That's what we got him and Antoine Winfield for us. No, not Antoine Winfield. Antoine Williams. Antonio Williams, yeah. I said Antoine Winfield.
Yeah, I mean Jeff Wilson Jr. He does have his place. He's good at catching out of the backfield. I think he's a good third down back. You know, if we're passing. But
also, Richie James got a couple of catches in our game, so we're using him as a target too, outside of Sterling Shepard. A lot of former Niners contributing to our team.
go
ahead, Corey.
Richie James.
I really wanted to keep Hasty on Wilson. I said we should have released the old man and kept the new man.
What up, Michael? All right. Do you think, Michael?
Yeah, I like Breida. Breida was a good back, but he fumbled a couple times, and that's why he's not on the team anymore. He's
We got him as a
Michael.
guy. I want to rotate how the Colts did with Naeem Hines, Jonathan Taylor, and Marlon Mack. What you guys just picked up?
Yeah.
I'm still pissed we got rid of Chase Edmonds or we let him go because he was that type of running back. Like
I got him on the Dolphins fantasy.
Yeah, on like second and third downs when Kyler had no other option, he would just check it down to Chase Edmonds and he would pick up yardage. But now we don't have him.
And also, I'm in a PPR league, so that's why I took Chase Edmonds. I'm in a PPR league. He catches a lot of stuff in the backfield as well.
But yeah, he was a good backup. I don't know why we got rid of him, but he's balling in my now, so it is what it is.
He done the ball out against the Ravens this week too. After Mitchell went down, I have to hope Jeff Wilson falls to me.
I actually picked that.
Henderson.
I wasn't here when you did that game, but I actually picked Miami as an upset. So.
Yeah, I saw the video. Yeah.
Yeah. Chicago Michael, tell your Bears to whoop the Green Bay Packers.
The only upset, quote unquote, that looks because the Eagles are actually favored at home for some reason.
You guys will whoop them in the playoffs if you see them again. So don't worry.
I'm thinking about doing artwork for Justin Fields when he was sliding in the ring. Well, that's cool.
Ha 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 ha. That's funny.
No, that was a cool photo. I'm not gonna lie. That screenshot he sent me out on the story.
Yeah.
Also want to do some art for, good old Tate Crowder, the best Mr. Irrelevant, trucking old man Henry. Putting like a grown man on his ass. Nobody thought he could be laid out.
Dude, Derrick Henry, game one, didn't look that good.
Yeah, I told you our middle linebacker laid him out.
I said that injury was going to take a toll on him, and it looks like it's going to. So.
And then you have Tannenhill to run the offense, and he's never been anything great.
He's just
he's like Jimmy G.
A game manager, yeah.
Yeah, he's like Jimmy G, but healthier. Can actually stay healthy.
Yeah, but more turnover prone.
Is that possible?
Yes, that's possible. The Bengals will tell you. The Bengals will tell you.
Hey, the one I'm not trying to back up Jimmy, but the one good thing about Jimmy is that when he does throw an interception, that next drive he usually comes out and scores a touchdown. But
yeah, I don't see that from Tannehill either. It's the only difference.
Sometimes
behind him.
people have to, they have to get that monkey off of them a little bit. Like Garcia, he'd have to get hit, early in the game before he'd feel comfortable playing. So
Should have happened.
maybe
if
Jimmy
he
just
did
has to
this past
take
week when he
before
threw that
he
end zone touch
comfortable.
pick and then he get through the scoring next drive. That should have happened. The next drive after.
Yo, as soon as
Okay,
I saw
so if the Niners lose this game against Seattle, who gets fired? Does anyone get fired?
No, I don't think so.
Nah. But if
Too
Trey
early.
Lance struggles against the Seattle, you know damn well they're going to be calling for Jimmy's name.
Yep.
Look, if we
they're
lose this
calling.
game, then I'm
Yeah.
going to say them owning us has nothing to do with Russell Wilson and everything to do with Pete Carroll.
Yeah, if they beat you,
Really
it's the
just say
whole
it's Pete
Carroll
Carroll.
thing. It ain't Russ. If
the
they beat you.
Seahawks defense looked good against the Broncos. So
But that
it's
was the front seven, but their secondary's not that nice. It's just that the
Yeah, but
fucking play calling.
The Seahawks defense also knows Russell Wilson, though.
Well,
John Jay,
one thing
what up?
that
What's up, John Jay?
What's up?
Hey, John
hey,
Jay.
John.
Yep.
One thing you can't say though, it's not just Pete or Russell. It's been since the division's been changed.
Yeah.
They had Mike Holden.
Matt Hasselbeck and Clipboard Jesus at some point. I'll stop. Let me stop with the Clipboard Jesus.
Sean Alexander, and then
Matt
Alex
Hasselbeck.
Smith couldn't like. Alex Smith
Sean
couldn't win,
Alexander.
one game up there. like, two
Beast
games up
mode.
there.
Yep. That's true, Brian.
Also, Doug
No,
Baldwin.
I mean-
Doug Baldwin. Yeah, those old days.
Yeah.
I think if we lose this game, somebody is seriously going to get in trouble with this game, and because they're going to have to answer it. They're going to be 2 games down.
Ricardo Lockett.
Someone's going to have to take something for it.
Yep. What's up, everybody?
What's up?
Well, I mean, they got a lot of work to do. Those 12 penalties, I mean, for 99 yards and giving the Bears first downs. I mean, we literally beat ourselves in that game.
Mhm.
Yep. Anyway. What's up, Corey Davis, the GOAT?
Hello, John.
Well, yeah, I took them. Yeah. I
there's
think you guys
no,
will rebound this week, though. It's just a one. It happens every week one. I think you guys will rebound this week.
really that much more your defense could have done in that game. They were blitzing Justin Fields pretty good. He just kept running out of the pocket and making plays.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like Michael said.
And a lot of defensive holdings, PI, and stuff like that, yeah.
Yep. I was watching the all 22, and I was a little bit harsh on Trey Lance. That middle of the line was like breaking down so easily.
The interior?
I was
the
like,
interior, goddamn.
That's why Trey Lance was throwing a lot of bad passes. I thought Trey Lance was doing it on purpose, but I love that all 22. That great stuff. And I was like, because Brendo first start, Burford first start, and Aaron Banks first start. That cannot happen. They better improve next week and the week after, because it's going to be a long season. I don't want another 2020 season where, oh man, I don't want to think about that. But yeah,
Well, I'm wondering how much did that have to do with the calls Brindle was making?
Unfortunately, Michael.
He calls the pass blocking, right?
Yep.
So how much of that had to do with his calls versus the other guy's work?
That's actually a really good question. Like the center, basically, when he lines up, he's pointing. Have you ever seen a center when they're pointing at his line? Is basically he's telling them, watch, etc. So basically, a center is already, they see what's going to happen already. So that's why when many people, ask, why are they pointing? The center is pointing. They're not just pointing, oh, guard that guy. They're just reminding them, get ready.
No, the center's a quarterback of that offensive line. He's the leader of that offensive line.
So, hey, like people underestimate, what a center does. People underestimate what they do. Yep. That's why when Alex Mack retired, it did hurt the 49ers. When Westberg, whatever the center, when he retired, because it really hurt the 49ers. The centers are, really important. So, John Jay, do you agree with Grant Cohen, Grant Cohen, like he's kissing Trey's butt. Like I've never seen a man kiss somebody's butt of a quarterback like him. So I personally don't give a damn what Grant says. And I know you like him, Brian, but I'm not a fan of Grant.
Right, but let me get this clear. I like a lot of people, and I don't have to agree with anyone's, everyone's opinion over everything. And yeah, there's a
You
little
gotta
weirdness
agree.
going because
Keep
right
that
now,
lined up.
because right now when you jump on the Jimmy side or you jump on the Trey Lance side, you have this army of people on both sides that are hating both sides, and it's just.
Mhm.
I want to be that 49er fan, and I don't care again if it's Tim or Tay lining up under center. I'm still rooting for the Niners to win.
Yeah.
I don't want Tim or Tay or Blaine Gabbert or we're not gonna keep going on, but no, I want Trey to succeed, and if he doesn't succeed, then Jimmy needs to go in there and win the game, and I think it would be really funny and really strange if they went to the Super Bowl somehow and Jimmy ended up going in and winning the Super Bowl. No one, I really truly believe, would give Jimmy even the credit for that. They'd be like, oh, well, so.
That's
But
true.
I don't think that's going to happen. But I just think.
So
It'd be funny.
yeah, and I was listening to some like I've never heard of this YouTube channel talking about Justin Fields, Trey Lance, and they were saying the most audacious, like the most disrespectful stuff that Trey Lance, whoever scouted him, like the scouts that rate him as a top 5 quarterback, needs to be fired because they said that you have to go to an Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, Clemson to be considered a good quarterback. I'm like, I don't know who you are. I don't know how I found your channel. That was just dumb.
Carson Wentz would like a word, and also a couple of other quarterbacks would like a word that didn't go to any popular schools.
Wait a second. Are you giving Carson Wentz some props, YTC?
I gave him props in Indianapolis. I give my rivals props every now and then.
Yeah.
As much as I hate doing it, I have to as well sometimes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yo, I want to just bring up something random. As soon as I saw Dak Prescott get injured on the
It's over.
in the
It's
game against
over.
Tampa Bay, I thought to myself, yeah, here we go. There's going to be rumors now that Garoppolo is going to go to Dallas. And what happened?
Exactly.
There's-
Now we
there's-
have to worry about. Well, now it looks like it's the Eagles' division to fucking lose. That's what everybody's saying. So
I was like, yeah,
unless we or the commies rise up, I don't know, to stop them.
Nowadays, whenever a team loses a quarterback or they bench one, they're like, yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo is definitely going to go there, and it never happens. I just find that funny.
It's hilarious to an extent.
That's not going to happen. Like, Jimmy's going to be on
That ain't gonna happen.
all year. Okay.
It happens in free agency a lot with the Eagles. If a player gets released that in our division or that's trending, the Eagles are automatically not even like within 1 seconds of being released, automatic favorites.
Yeah.
That's the media for you.
So
that's their propaganda media.
Yeah. So that's about it.
Well, see, that's the one thing though. It's like the media is like really pushing this. Jimmy's a good quarterback. Jimmy's a great quarterback. Oh, he's so successful and all this and this. The Niners need him to win. Kyle can't win without him. Oh, there's an opening over here. There's an opening over there. Yeah. And you're pushing it. You're suggesting that he's going to go anywhere. The Niners aren't letting him go anywhere. The ownership has decided that. The fan base doesn't like that, but the ownership has decided that because they're believing that media hype. But the media keeps on trying to trade him, and it's like they're just making a story. They know it's not going to happen.
They're paid to be assholes. Unfortunately, that's the media for you.
I know, like this is a thing that many people forget. Like, who like I have a lot of friends who wrote in the school newspaper. Then they went to college. They wrote for the college newspapers, and then they got internships at the local papers. And there's a guy who runs the entire paper, the business, and basically they have a meeting. All right, you guys take a topic. So say someone's covering food or someone's covering outdoor activities or like school stuff or like, politics, yada, yada, sports stuff. that guy says that you're going to take the story and you're going to write something that is controversial for the readers to read. That is their job. They don't do facts. They distort the facts. So that's what the media is. Because when you listen to my favorite troll, Colin Coward, how all he does is talk about how Baker Mayfield is garbage, but he likes him. He talks about how Dak Prescott is the best quarterback he's ever seen, and that's what he does. He gets a reaction of people. And then he always, for whatever the reason, when he talks about the Giants, Odell Beckham, the Giants ruined him. So basically, you're like, wait a second, what the hell are you talking about, Colin Coward?
Yeah, they're paid to talk shit about New York. It's always a popular thing to bash on New York media.
Grant Cohen knows what he is doing. He knows what he's doing when he says Jimmy sucks. I bet you secretly he does not believe that. But there are people who hate Jimmy so much that he has built a wonderful following, because from 2020 and 2021, this guy's made so many videos. I don't know how many videos he makes in one day. At least you can have a video that says, Jimmy Garoppolo, it is your fault the Niners are not good. Something like that when it comes to – and that's why the entire year he made those 30-second clips. Breaking news, Jimmy Garoppolo is still on the 49ers. And then that stupid thing. That was just stupid.
That's an interesting ringtone.
Mine's so basic. I haven't even changed it since I first got my phone. It's so basic.
Yeah. So that's what the media does. And like the reason why I do my channel the way I do is like I will say what I feel, what I think is true about the Niners, and I'm gonna criticize the team. Like someone wrote, "Hey, all this negativity on Trey Lance." I said, "Let me explain something. Just because I like Trey Lance, I'm not gonna give him any pass this year. If he plays good, I'll say the good things. If he plays bad, I'm gonna be on him. I've always been consistent. I was the same way with Jimmy Garoppolo. When Jimmy Garoppolo played against the Lions and the Eagles, he did good. Then he played against the Packers, and then he pissed the fuck out of me, and I just, basically show my emotions. But then when he played against the Bengals, no turnovers. I think he was 22 for like 32, 263 yards, 2 passing touchdowns. Good numbers. Very efficient, very smart, controlled the tempo. And the Bengals were at the time a playoff team. They were battling for a playoff spot. So I've always been consistent. I've never ever said all that stuff. I've always been consistent. But when Jimmy in the NFC Championship game in the third quarter, he was completing a lot of passes. The offense was moving. Our run game, but then at the Super Bowl in the fourth quarter, Jimmy Garoppolo became himself. So it is how I am very critical. I am not a homer, and I'm not an idiot critic that just takes every negativity. So like when 12 penalties is unacceptable, almost 100 yards of penalties. That's a lot of yards you're giving up to the Bears. That's why the Bears came back, scored 19 points on us, because we kept them on the field and the Bears did their job. And I give credit to the Bears. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh no, we I'm not that fan that says, no, we still would have kicked your butt if it wasn't. I don't make no excuses. We lost. The Bears played well. And that's how I do that. Like when we lost to the Cardinals, I was cursing my entire team out. What the fuck are you doing? And I was really mad because I've never seen team play that. So I'm always critical when the team is playing bad. I'm not a homer. So that's how I do it. If people like it, wonderful. If we don't like it, there are other places that can make your feelings, feel good. But I don't do that stuff.
Yeah, it's like go to a channel where they lie to you and it'll make you feel better.
Yeah.
Just go to BSPN at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I said the same thing about our team. When we played Kansas City, first play of our offense, first play of the season for us, they ran the play clock all the way down to 0 before they hiked the ball, and the chemistry was just so off that it caused an illegal shift by our offense. Right off the bat, it was the first play of our season offensively, and an illegal shift happened. So right off the bat, there was absolutely no chemistry in that game. I called obviously people, and I'm a realist too. And I looked at Kyler Murray's stats and I watched him play that game. He didn't throw an interception. He didn't fumble the ball. He didn't do anything wrong. And the fans were criticizing him. And I'm like, okay, he had 2 passing touchdowns. I think he almost had 200 passing yards. He had no receivers because Hopkins and Rondale were both out. He had a secondary that gave up 44 points. How the hell is it Kyler's fault that we started 0-1 our season? That's why I was cursing out our fan base and like this, and of course I'm sure I'm going to get backlash for that eventually, but it's just, I give my opinions and, I keep them real. So same thing with me too.
Hey, I got a
Hold on.
question for you. since you're a
Platform,
Kobe fan.
excuse me. Other platform. You can come on in here if you like. The link is in the chat. If you'd like to come on in.
Yeah, that's Lawrence.
Yep. Lawrence, if you'd like to come on in, you can.
So here's my question for you. Are you all in on Kyler Murray? Do you think he's all in on football? Like, do you think he's all in with the Cardinals, or because when I'm getting at is when we seen him play against the Rams in the playoff game last year, do you think he pulled himself out of that game, or do you think he tried to win that game? Because at a certain point in my eyes, he stopped playing.
Yeah, when so he in that playoff game, right after he threw the interception, like the 2-3 yard pick six, that's when it was all gone. All the confidence, like everything. That's when the team fell down. And right after that game, he was obviously pouting on the sideline. He was complaining too much. And it's like, and that's, I don't know how he was able to pull it off, but that's when he started begging for all the money and such. And obviously our front office isn't really the brightest, but they still gave him the contract anyway. And I thought, like, when he first got paid, I was like, how are you going to pay a guy $49 million a year when he hasn't won us a playoff game? He's not really he doesn't really have a leader's mentality. And whenever we lose games, he doesn't really, and when it's his fault especially, he doesn't really take accountability for it. But what I saw last week, even though he didn't have a bad game, right after in the post-game interview, he took accountability for it, which I don't know why, because he didn't do anything wrong. And he said he's going to focus his butt off for next week, which is obviously a step up from what he did last season when he was doing his interviews, talking to the media, and etc. So I do think he's all in now. I do think now that he has his contract, he's more focused. He's all in with this team. Obviously, currently right now, he doesn't really have the right offense built around him until midway through the season when we get our receivers back. But I do think he's definitely going to improve as a leader this season. That's what I think. He's definitely improving so far.
Do you think that helps that they took the option away from him being a baseball player or a multi-sport player, athlete away in his contract? You think that helps make him all focused this year just on the birds?
Yeah. Now that he's paid, that's all he really has to do is just focus on football. Now, I know he said plenty of times he wishes he can do both, but he made his choice. He got paid. He said he even said he wanted to be in Arizona his entire career, like multiple times. So I think when the player says it, it's 100% accurate. He's definitely all in. He definitely wants to win here. We're trying our best to build the team around him. We're trying to, and even in the offseason, we brought so many of his former college teammates in. We brought Hollywood Brown. We traded for Cody Ford, which was his right guard at Oklahoma. So we're trying our best the front office is trying their best to make him as happy as possible, which obviously so far it's been going good. He had a good training camp. He didn't really play. I mean, obviously he didn't play in the preseason, but which I think he should have at least played a quarter to see where he was at. But after what I saw week 1, I think he's definitely stepping up, not just as a leader, but as a player. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I can see that. I think with him not wanting to, well, he's probably always going to want to play 2 sports, but with them taking that option away from him and paying him, he can focus more on the Cardinals and be happy there. Yeah. What was your opinion of him scrubbing his social media last year? or this season?
See, with that, I mean, a lot of players. I've seen a couple players do it, but they
You think it's
never
right or wrong?
paid for it. I mean, like and then right after that, like right after he got hate for it, he put all of his photos back. So I don't think it necessarily had anything to do with the contract situation. I just think, and a lot of people said in the fan base that it was mostly because I don't know. They said it had something to do with him getting rid of his photos from last season and just focusing on this upcoming season. I don't know what that meant, but that's what a lot of people were saying. But obviously, right after that is when we were trying to make moves in the offseason, especially for him, trying to build our team up and trying to pay him the right amount, which I'm not too certain on the contract just yet. But obviously, this front office is all in on him. And the social media thing, I think it was just an overreaction, which is what the media is going to do. But at the end of the day, he put it all back on his social media. So, I mean, I guess it was just an overreaction like always.
Yeah, I don't think it's right. I think the players should stay off social media a little bit. You know, they could have an athlete social media account where fans can see them and interact with them, and then they should have their private social media where, you know, like you don't tell everybody, you know, that you work with your social media. You tell your friends. So
And that's the thing about the younger players. Like everyone today is affected with social media. I remember in 2006, a friend of mine told me about something called MySpace. I didn't know what it was, and then the first time I heard the word YouTube, I thought they were talking about, because I think there's a rock and roll band called YouTube. So I thought they were talking about a rock band. So one day I got sick and tired, and I put the letter U and the number 2, and what popped up was a thing called YouTube. So I clicked on it, and this is when YouTube's infancy, and back then it was just like random videos of like people's
Weird people.
pets, and this is when
A bunch of Michaels.
that was no, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. And the coolest thing that most people would see were like the X Games, the skateboarders. They were promoting themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, because to become
And a lot of music videos, I'm assuming. Yeah, a lot of music videos.
a professional,
Well,
to become a professional skateboarder, you have to send one of the biggest promotional sponsor companies videos at the time. So that's what it was. Then one day people started to realize that they took their personal lives, and then they just started making videos, and then eventually a company basically paid a female actress to act like a high schooler, and that's where how YouTube and all that stuff became, and then Google bought it. But I got off topic for a second. The point is that society has social media, and everyone's on social media. So I think you take away social media and you take away all the stuff, the only way you would know if a player was upset was the beat writers, the writers who wrote the papers. That was the only way you learned about, or if you watch the games, if you watch all the games and you watch all the sports report, that they will tell you about all these stuff. Back then, that's how it was. So players now have more freedom and more power. And it used to be like when a contract was about to be, back then the contracts were not 4 years. You can sign a rookie for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. That's how it used to be. So you were able to sign a rookie as long as you wanted. If they were a bust, they would just basically take away the contract, and then you're a free agent. Not the freedom is that all contracts are 4 years, 5 years. There's no more long-term giant contracts unless you're a quarterback. But the point is that it's different now, very different how players now, before their final year, they're able to negotiate. Because back then, if a team was like, I'm not going to negotiate, basically players are like, all right, I'm going to bet on myself, play hard. If the team doesn't pay me, guess what? I'm going to get a big contract. One good example, a Tennessee Titans pass rusher, Albert Hainsworth, did that. He played his balls out. He got a 6-year, $72 million contract. He was a bust. And after only 1 year, they cut him. That's how bad he was. So, yeah, that's how it used to be. You know, how it used to be.
I never understood that too. When guys get paid like a big contract, normally the following year they don't have as good of a season. I never understood that, but the
I
media
think
or
that
like, especially now the market is so messed up now, especially for quarterbacks. I mean, the Browns gave like Watson a fully guaranteed contract, and now you got guys like Lamar rejecting contracts that are almost $300 million because he feels like he deserves more guaranteed. Like the market is just messed up now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So what you guys think about what Chris Sims said about the said some of the guys? What did he say? He said some of the guys right now said they want really Jimmy G in there.
Well, that's just Chris Sims being, who he is. I don't take Chris Sims seriously.
Yeah, me either. I'm like, he just saying that. He said, so it says in the locker room that there's a player in there that said they want Jimmy G as quarterback. And then Greg Collins showed a video of Trent Williams and
yeah,
Mike I can't say his last name. Lynchy, whatever.
McGlinchey.
McGlinchey. Trey got brothers went after Trey got sacked by the guy that Lynchy for the block. And they didn't help him up. They walked off the field.
I think that could happen to any quarterback any time of a game or their career. There are players laying on the ground and other players are walking off the field, especially in like a weather game the way it was. You can't say, oh, if it was Jimmy, they would have ran over and pulled him up. They have in the past, but they've also done it for Trey Lance too. I think the first time he got hit, like his first play or something, he got hit in the helmet and all the players got real mad about it. So I think they defend him and care about him too. Now, whether or not other players in the locker room want him to start or Jimmy to start, I think that goes down to, I think that will go down to personal preference and opinion. I think Debo might be somebody who wants Jimmy to start over Trey. There's a couple of players, that normally get those dump off passes that, normally get fed the ball. I think they're going to want it, but the guys that are getting the ball deep and stuff, they're going to want Trey out there because Trey can give them the ball deep. So, again, I think if he loses this game, and it's going to be him because the quarterback's the only one that counts, right? Quarterbacks win games and lose games. Nobody else. There's all those other people on the team, but the quarterback's the only one that counts. So Trey Lance doesn't win this game against Seattle. There will be a lot of people talking. It'll be the media talking, and there'll probably be people in the locker room talking too because, whether or not we agree or we believe it or not, there was some plays in that game against Chicago that Jimmy probably would have made, and it probably would have been good enough to get us that win, especially when the rain started coming down.
Yeah, and it's not a far-fetched idea because a lot of people are like, oh, Jimmy Garoppolo, whatever you feel about him, that's your point of view. But this is a championship team. This is not like Jacksonville, the Jets, or the Bears. I'm not going to count, the Patriots because Bill Belichick always finds a way to win games late in the year. But this is a championship team. Trent Williams is 33 years old. So basically, he's there to win a ring. He's not there to collect the money. He wants that ring. George Kittle is going to be 29 when the season ends. He's getting to his 30s. He wants that ring. Deebo Samuel is 26, 27. This team is getting older, okay? Kyle Juszczyk is in his 30s. And then Mike McGlinchey, even though he's also almost 29 years old. So then you go on the defensive side, like Fred Warner's still young, Nick Bosa's young. Right now we have a defense that is young, but this offense is getting old. We have a championship team. So it's not a far-fetched to say if Trey is struggling and say we lose against Seattle, the next 2 games, the Broncos, they played horrible week 1, but if you give Russell Wilson a few weeks to get, understand that off, he's going to get better with that team. And then we got the Rams, who we do own, but that could also be, a game that we cannot take lightly. So Trey Lance was supposed to win the first 2 games before he enters his real tough task at Denver. So Trey Lance better in the next couple of games start to show, because if say hypothetically in the first 6 weeks we maybe go 2-4 in our division, no, you can't start off that bad, and hopefully somehow not. Don't be surprised if Jimmy is forced to play, and that's not a hot take. That's just a real thing.
You're definitely onto it. You're correct, because right now we have a championship team, and the only mulligan is the quarterback. So if our quarterback isn't good enough to get us to the championship, or get the championship for us, then we need a different one. So they're trying to put in a rookie with a bunch of veterans who want to win now. So those veterans are going to put pressure on him, because they want to win now. They don't want to wait 1 or 2, 3 years before he's finally ready. They don't want to wait for his new contract to come on and now he's going to start lighting it up. They want to win now. So I agree, John.
Yeah. And again, like Fred Warner's been in the Super Bowl. George Kittle's been in the Super Bowl. Debo in his rookie year has been in the Super Bowl. Emmanuel Mosley, I think in his rookie season, was in the Super Bowl. A lot of the players were in the Super Bowl not that long ago. So, like, they know that.
They know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they know what it tastes like and what it smells like. They want to get back to it, and this time they want to win it.
Yeah.
When you get there, you'll never stop thinking about it.
Yeah. And
Well, and I have a point to make. So, Trey Lance is the future, and the kid needs reps. How's he supposed to get reps if we're starting Jimmy G? How's he supposed to get better as a player if we're starting the other quarterback?
That's the problem right there. I think they need to go back
Yeah.
to having more preseason games. I think they need to go back so the quarterbacks can start getting more time in preseason, where the games don't matter so much and they can, run around out there. There used to be 6 preseason games this season. There was 14 regular games. So maybe they should throw like another preseason game in there and let quarterbacks play a little bit more. Maybe they should go back to 2-day practices.
I think we made a mistake this preseason not maxing out the time he can play. I think the starters are limited to I don't know the rules. It's stupid. But I think we should have got Trey Lance more reps in the preseason.
I know.
I mean, it just plain would have helped him.
I said that. Like, here's the thing that I don't understand. Like, look what happened in week 1. A lot of high-profile players, and one of our players, Elijah Mitchell, out for 2 months. He did not take any snaps in the preseason. And I will always bring this up. I don't care if I bring it up in 5 years and 10 years. And Mike Schumann, if you're old enough to remember who he is, won the Super Bowl with the Niners in '81. Bay Area legend, was on ABC Bay Area, the flagship from ABC. And he said this: when he got to San Francisco, there was turf. And I think that was Bill Walsh's first year. I think it's 78 or 79, whatever Bill Walsh showed up. But he showed up. Bill Walsh told him, you know what, we're going to scrap this turf. And for all those years at that stadium, for those who were privileged enough to go to that stadium like myself, it was not a luxury stadium like the rest of the stadiums around the United States. It was a pure concrete with very minimal steel, because right next to Candlestick Park is that bay water, and that bay water is so very salted with so much of that seawater that's in the bay. And you have to, when you go out there, the metal is already rusted in less than a few months, because it's so that water and that vapor goes there. So that's why it was created the way it was. That stadium would sometimes sink when it was wet, and it would rise up because it was on top of landfill. but it was a very difficult stadium to play. And for so many years, there was no major. This is in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s before, how the league has made sure to keep their players healthy. But the point is that they need to play. They have to play. Like Elijah Mitchell should have got like 1 or 2 series and then should have got a quarter in the third game so he can get his body ready for those tacklings so he gets hit. And the same thing for Trey Lance. He should have played the entire first quarter, week 1, the entire first quarter, week 2, and the entire first half. No, I'm scared. No, Kyle, I'm scared of my players. Your players get hurt every damn year, man. Stop making that damn excuse why you don't play your players. So I'm done with Kyle. Like, he makes excuses. Oh, this is why we practice soft this day, and then we practice hard the next day. I'm done. Like, so all of our players have got hurt. Kilo gets hurt. Jimmy got hurt. Debo gets hurt also. Elijah Mitchell gets hurt. Raheem Mostert, when he was got hurt. Every player got hurt. And
thank you, AZTRL, for coming in.
Later, TRL.
Man, my bad. I'm sorry, but
See you, buddy.
I'm sorry, but it really agitates me. Like I'm not gonna get to the, because I've said this like a million times on my channel why they moved to Santa Clara, but the
John, I can tell you why. Okay, so the Niners used to be in Stockton for the training camp, and then they had the facility, like the Niners organization, right there in Santa Clara. So then when they lost their contract or they broke their contract with UOP, they moved everything over to Santa Clara. So then when they started deciding that they weren't, when they started thinking, oh, we're not going to get our stadium in San Francisco, they said, why don't we just build right next to our facility? And that's where they ended up moving there for.
Oh, nah, that's the media story. Like I have a bunch of insiders, and that's what they're going.
Well, that's the media story, but that's the big reason they left. They left Stockton because Stockton wouldn't pay for air conditioners. It gets to 113 in the summertime, so UOP didn't upgrade their weight facility, their training facility here, and they moved to Santa Clara, where they said, oh, it's going to be cooler over there all the time. So it's worked out.
Yeah, because like San Francisco, where I worked as a contractor, San Francisco Recreation and Park, Kezar is of course one of the city-run operated. So basically, I was a employee of that stadium and a bunch of other community centers, yada yada. Yeah. So I don't know in the Bay Area if they have other. But San Francisco is the biggest one in the United States. There's over 100 parks. You have even Candlestick was owned by the Recreation Park Department. So when the workers, because I started working as a teenager down at the famous Golden Gate Park in San Francisco, I had to take a bunch of buses just to go there from when I was 14 to 19 to get my permit to work. And there was a lodge where you will go in there and you say, all right, I'm a recreation park employee. And then they'll walk you to their offices, but there's other departments because it was a city agency for a bunch of other stuff. I would always pass by right there. When I started working, it was 3 Con Park. I remember. So I love telling this story. There was pictures of famous players of the 70s, 80s, the Barlow, with the players, and of course opposing, players from other teams, Hall of Famers. It was a wonderful office, very large office, and representatives of the team will go there to always discuss Candlestick Park. So I had a very lucky time to get to know that little department when I worked there. So during the summer, we would always go there for a lot of our orientations. And before I knew what a practice squad player was, like those players on the Niners would participate. We would play in the stadium. It was fun. So what happened was everyone knew in 2016 they had the Olympics in I think England or something. But the mayor at the time, who's the governor of California, wanted to redevelop the area so they can attract the Olympics. But a lot of people are like, "You are nuts!" Because number one, over 100 countries are going to pack that city. So basically, again, a lot of bullshit that I'm not going to even talk about because I don't want to talk about politics. I hate doing that. But he was trying to basically twist the York's arm to to pay the stadium. But the Yorks did something stupid, and apparently it's not in the media. But for those who've ever been to Candlestick Park, the famous 100 Points, that area, Sunnydale, that area. So a lot of rumors started to come in that maybe they had some issues in the neighborhood. They didn't want a stadium out there. So there was a lot of bullshit that happened. I don't think the Yorks are like those type of people. I don't think they are, but that notion. So in the underground world, they got a bit of a criticism. So basically, both parties blame each other. They brought up dumb, arguments, and it's been, I think, now almost 8-9 years. That area is still an empty pot of land, and they have not built nothing. So, like, I'm not even gonna go there. I'm just sick and tired of talking about it because, like, so yeah. So that's the reason why I try not to tell the story because there's a lot of moving components of what happened, and I blame the city, and I also blame the Yorks. They could have found a way to basically meet in the middle, because in the San Francisco Chronicle, one of the newspapers here in the city, that there was a deal in place that the city would match funds with the Yorks for a decade to try to remodel the area, try to make it a little bit more like basically try to create a facility over there so the Niners did not have to travel from Santa Clara so they could practice there. And apparently the deal was just like the Yorks were not, but if they would have met in the middle, they would have still been in Candlestick Park, would have been renovated, still would have looked at the same concrete, but the area would have been cleaned up way better. The stadium would have been more modern, but still with the same thing. But it's just.
Hey, let me ask you, do you remember when they were first talking about, Candlestick being rebuilt? This was before the Olympics. Do you remember them talking about the building? They were going to have like an industry. It was going to be an area for lower income people. They're going to build an apartment complex.
Oh yeah,
It
basically,
was
I
supposed to
remember.
be like it was supposed to be like built almost into the stadium or something. But it was weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but basically, like everyone like knew, all right, they're going to build condos out there. They were going to build a mall, and then build condos around it, and a bunch of businesses. So basically, they were trying to do like where I live in Daly City, because that's where I live currently. There's a thing called Ceremony, which is basically condos, apartments, a giant mall, businesses around it, and the freeway. That's what they wanted to do over there. I don't know why they haven't done it, but it's just sad. And like the city knew they messed up. And Santa Clara, like, I think that the relationship with the Yorks are still very touchy over there, but I don't think they're going to come back anytime soon. I think that as long as they pay whatever they have to pay to the city, they're not going to like the Niners there. But as long as, and again, I hate to say this, money talks in society. As long as they get their cash, that's all they give a damn about. So
Yeah.
That's is what it is. It's, anyway. But
I think if they win a Super Bowl in the next couple of years, hopefully we win the Super Bowl this year. I think Santa Clara will be where we're going to be at for like the next 10 years. But if they don't win the Super Bowl, I think they're going to be looking to move back here sooner than later. Because the city officials, they don't get along with the organization. They really haven't. They, like you said, they're on a touchy, feeling basis. I just don't think they're going to be there that much longer. I think they want to use that for more of, a venue for theaters and other stuff like that. Because I think the first event there was like a Taylor Swift concert or something, and they tore up the field. And Niners weren't happy about that. So
yeah, and also like I did not know that in the city of, because like, and again, I don't want to sound like like I'm bitter, but that's a suburb, like a suburb compared to a major city. Cities are like some cities are like 24/7, but suburbs are like around like midnight. People want to be sleeping. Uh, that's why people move out to suburbs. And Beyonce in 2019, at a concert at Santa Clara, and the permit was the concert. They wanted the concert to start at 7 o'clock, and they wanted the lights to be turned off by 11 o'clock. Well, Beyonce, she is who he is. She arrives, whenever the hell she wants. They started the concert an hour later, and the concert went past like 11:15, and the lights were on until like 1:30 in the morning, and residents near the area were complaining to the mayor because they wanted to sleep. So why did they bring a concert knowing that the people in that area? So, like I said, like, and again, I'm not trying to say like if say that they would have gone to San Jose because that's a major city, it's actually more easier to drive from in less than 40 minutes with no traffic from where I live, but it's more longer and more time consuming, and a lot of people who drive out there is a headache also. So again, like they should have
Well, like for me,
they should have really planned out if San Francisco wasn't going to be the place. They should have planned out something that would have been more easier for the commuters, more easier, yada yada. And so
for me, like, I live in Stockton. If wanted to jump on the Ace train, I could go all the way there, but I can't get on the Ace train and come back home the same day. So that doesn't work out. Like all those things, like you're saying, all those things have to work out. The transportation, parking, all that has to work out. And the Niners even get complaint noises about the noise during night games, Thursday night games and Monday night games. They get really, really loud over there. And the people that live in those areas, they're not happy about that. So again, if they keep that stadium there, I think it's really going to be more like for daytime use, soccer games. They're not going to be trying to, like you said, have concerts there at nighttime going until 1:30. But that's not what that area they want. But
yeah,
I keep my fingers crossed. They'll be moving one day.
yeah.
So
And also, and also like the Warriors basically for many years they were here first before they went to Oakland, and you got the San Francisco Giants Stadium, and then just right near it is the Golden State Warriors. There's an area for like for me, like I said, I've lived in the city half my life, so I consider more myself like a San Franciscan. But I've lived almost everywhere in the Bay Area, mostly like summer times. Weekends I visit people. So the Bay Area, of course, I know it very well. But there's a thing called the Dog Patch, which is basically like a dead pier, where basically it's a large open area, just like Candlestick, that area. And they can develop a stadium there. It won't be as big like the 67,000 seat stadiums like all the NFL. And then there's another area where they can build parking. Now it won't be as big as Candlestick Park's parking lot or Levi's, but there's parking. But there's a lot of transportation. There's a lot of buses that go there. There's a lot of trains that go there, and because it's nearby the ballpark, people can get off at the ballpark and walk to the Dog Patch. It's not that far, so they can build a stadium. It won't be as big like a 67,000 foot stadium. The problem that, and like the only bad thing about the city is how the people, when it comes to industries, when they want to do a business or they want to build stuff, there's a big what's the word? There's a big like waiting period before anyone can build stuff, which is stupid. That's why a lot of people don't build stuff. Why businesses don't come to the city no more. They would rather go anywhere in the Bay, but not the city, because how it is. And again, and I live in San Francisco, which politics. A lot of people hate it, but people just don't want to leave the city. and it's a wonderful city to live in. Like I love it, but it's just a headache that's it's so weird that that's who they are. And again, it's just sad that like I said, at one point, people came to California for a reason. People came to California. Now, 15 years later, people they want to leave. They want to get out. But the people who came here in the mid and early 2000s were from the East Coast. What did they bring? The tech business, industry, all that stuff, which has really, really hurt this portion of California. That's why when people talk crap about San Francisco was never like New York. It was a little small city community, very boring, blue collar. Like it was truly blue collar. Like people who lived here. And then as everything changed, you saw these titans of industry and these blue collar, people. And the city has changed. And San Francisco is not what it used to be no more. Like someone told me, like, we are the last of the Mohicans, John Jay. Eventually, we'll be forced to leave, and that's how people say, and so.
Yeah, because the majority of the people that can live in San Francisco are getting pushed out because of the rent. And then the jobs aren't there.
Yeah.
The jobs really aren't there unless you're into tech. And a lot of the people that are residents sleep in the parks now.
Oh, true.
There's so many vagrants there. It's not funny, and that's why they have all those weird laws, and they even have that poo counter map. You can Google and see where you want to go and where you don't want to go in the city, and that's getting really sad. And it's because people don't live in the city anymore. People work in the city. If they live there, they care about that and they take care of that kind of stuff. But
yeah, basically, like when I was in high school, my brothers and their friends were like 3 years older than me. Now they're in their mid 30s, some of them almost 40. So look how time has passed. Like I'm not a kid anymore. I'm a grown ass man. But they created businesses, and they work out here. So they have like offices like just at the border of the city, because if you cross over, it's very different. That's why like my entire life, like I've always lived in that little border area of San Francisco, but I live more in the Cow Palace area. And for those who know where that is, that's a tough area to live. But when they go, and then the minimum wage and the wages out there are super high, but you cross over that line, the wages go down like 60% of the minimum wage, because those are towns and small cities outside. That's why people drive here to work. So basically, yeah, that is true. And also, there was a census that came out in 2008, which was very disturbing. That a lot of people were like very angry. Firefighters, police officers, sheriffs, those that were like in those industries, law enforcement, all that, fire departments, unions, all that stuff, did not live in the city. They live like in the outskirts. And so a lot of people who like, wait a second, our police department don't know the city very well. So you saw that out of touch, where like you have people that live in suburbs and they come over here, they go to an urban environment, and it was hard for them. It was really, really hard for them. So what they decided to do was, so they would try to get the officers to live out here so they can understand the culture. And this is the thing that I really don't understand. Like, if you live in like the more wealthier, more nice areas, that's the suburbs, but it's very, very little. But the majority of San Francisco, you have all these districts and small communities, and it's all blue collar. That's how it was. So that's why law enforcement, had issues like how do we do arrests, and that's why in the late 2000s and early 2000s there was a lot of police issues that the people distrusted the law enforcement because they didn't know. Because like in San Francisco, and I don't want to talk about this because there's a neighborhood where same couples, the same people that are together, when there was crimes over there and they had to deal with some like bad person who was a same-sex person, they didn't know how to arrest them, so there was a problem. So what they decided to do was they had some officers live in that area to learn about, and then you start to see how the people. So that's what they did. So they say, all right, over here, this is how the people over here, over there. So people are like officers. Then they slowly started to understand. Oh, okay, you can't be one way on this area and the same way over there. It's like I said, San Francisco is a melting pot. It's a true melting pot. And it's just sad that like officers had to understand that when they got out here. But anyway, my bad. I got off topic. My bad. I got a little bit my personal stuff. My bad. Sorry about
Okay.
that. Corey.
So let's recap what we picks. So Thursday night, I have Kansas City, and I think we all picked Kansas City, right?
I picked the Chargers.
Okay, Ryan picked the Chargers. And David, you picked Kansas City, right? David probably left us.
Yeah, David picked Kansas City. I was the only one different.
What about you, John Jay?
Oh, you're asking me about the football game?
Yeah.
Which one?
LA Chargers, Kansas City.
LA Chargers versus Kansas City. I'm gonna take Kansas City. I'm gonna take Kansas City.
Yeah, this is the battle for AFC West first place.
Yeah.
Okay, that was Thursday night. Tomorrow night game. Sunday, Jets at Cleveland Browns. And we all picked Jets. Cleveland Browns, sorry. We all picked Cleveland Brown there.
So Jets, Cleveland Browns. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Browns because they're the better team on paper, but you never know what happened. Like some good teams lost, but I'm still gonna choose the Browns.
And then Washington at Detroit.
Washington, Detroit. Oh, Washington.
Yeah, I think we all chose Washington. Oh, so Brian, you chose Detroit, huh?
No, I chose Washington. David chose Detroit. I wanted to choose Detroit. I got a feeling, but I'm gonna go Washington.
Oh, that's right. I chose Detroit.
Okay. David's back with us. And then Tampa Bay at New Orleans.
Tampa Bay, New Orleans. I think this is gonna be. Well, I have been told by Saints fans that Tampa Bay, no matter what, they've always had issues with New Orleans. So I'm gonna go with that. With that information, I'm gonna go with New Orleans.
Okay. I know I went Tampa Bay, and then
I went Tampa.
Yep. Tampa.
okay, Carolina at the New York Giants.
Carolina versus the New York Giants. All right. Like, I watched Carolina. They did not look bad as I thought. But just because they have Baker Mayfield, like again, there's a lot of question marks on that team. I think this is another possible trap game for the Giants because, like I said, the Titans were going to lose to the Giants. I was right. Until Tampa Bay can, not Tampa Bay. Until Carolina can show me that they can be a relevant team. I'm gonna have this. I think this is another trap game for the Giants. I think Giants can trap the Panthers, but the Giants are still a rebuilding team. So I'm going to put my trap on, but I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers.
Okay, we went all. I think we all did Giants that time.
Yep.
Okay. New England at Pittsburgh.
New England versus Pittsburgh. Oh, I got Pittsburgh. I don't trust the Patriots this year. I think they might have their worst year in a long time.
Okay, yeah, I think we all went Pittsburgh then too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, Indianapolis Colts at Jacksonville.
Indianapolis Colts and Jacksonville. That's a divisional game. Divisional games are always tough. The Jaguars did lose to the Commanders. Until Doug Peterson can have this team as a winner, which is going to be a while before they become a winning team. I'm going to go with the favorites on paper, and I got Indianapolis.
Yeah, I think we all went to Indianapolis Colts.
I said Jacksonville.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brian said Jacksonville.
Yeah, it's divisional games. Like, you never know where they can go. That's why trap games are basically teams outside of the division that no one expects to win. And divisional games are not trap games because divisional games always go either way. So that's why it's a difference from trap. So, yep.
Okay, next game was Miami at Baltimore Ravens.
Ooh, last year, Miami beat Baltimore, which was a shock. Mike McDaniels, our former head coach, as long as he develops Tua, because they have a good defense. Miami developed a good defense under Brian Flores. I'm going to take Miami. I think Miami, on paper, their defense is good. LaFleur will do the same thing as Kyle. They will run the ball, manage the game, put Tua in the situations that matter. I'm going to take Miami.
Okay. I picked Jacksonville that game. Brian, what you picked?
I picked Jacksonville, and then I picked Miami.
I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, Miami. I'm sorry. I won't.
No, that's you.
Okay, David. I can't remember who you picked.
I think he picked Miami too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Atlanta at the LA Rams.
I want to do a joke about the Rams losing to Atlanta, but Atlanta, they're full rebuild. They are full rebuild. So I'm going to take the Rams. I think the Rams will bounce back, get their first victory. But yeah, I don't see any, like, if the Rams lose to Atlanta, I'm going to make fun of Rudy, Payo, and LA Rams Insider. They should win this game. There's no excuses. So yeah, I got the Rams.
And I know it's going to be a game that he can enjoy. But if the Rams lost, I know he'll be pissed because he came far away to see the game.
Mm-hmm.
And to sit up there and watch them lose to Atlanta Falcons. I know that will piss me off if I had to come from all the way where he lived to come all the way to LA.
Yeah.
And see them lose. But I picked the Rams. Okay. Our game, Seattle at San Francisco. Well, Santa Clara, whatever.
Well, that game is a conflict of interest because, I want the Niners to win so badly. That's why it's hard for me to, like, that's why when I bet on the Niners, I bet on the spread and the points. I never pick who wins because I'm going to be biased. Now, what the Seahawks showed yesterday, no, not yesterday, on Monday, we should not take the Seahawks lightly. History has shown that they have owned us, even going back to when they. And I talked about this on that NFC West
West
roundtable,
Roundtable, yeah.
and I said that now. I think the Niners are going to bounce back. I think the Niners are going to play better. I think they're going to make very few mistakes. I think they can control the game. And what I'm going to predict, because again, I don't do predictions on my team. I think we're not going to see a high scoring affair. I think it's going to be less than 42 points. I think one team will score 21 points. One team could score probably at the max 20. But I want the Niners to win.
Yeah. I'm kind of praying that I'm not a win on that day, that game, because it's kind of scary. Because I like every time I think the 49ers gonna beat them, Seattle, we lose. I'm like, we got them. Boom. Nope, we don't have them. So, but I still will go with my 49ers to beat Seattle this time. I'm praying that they pull it off and beat them. And so we don't want to see Gino grabbing any more booties.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
He walked up to Marquise and was like, he grabbed him some and said, "That's a good win."
Oh man, that was a good one.
So someone put a meme on one of the Facebook groups I'm in, and I commented that the moment the moment they will remember forever.
Oh man. All right.
Okay, next game, Seattle. We're not Seattle. Cincinnati at Dallas.
Cincinnati and Dallas. Well, Dak Prescott's going to be gone for at least 6 weeks. You do need your quarterback. I'm going to take Cincinnati because I think not having your starting quarterback really does hinder your team. Now, it's the NFL; anything can happen. I'm going to choose Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati. They're the more healthier team, so that's my pick.
That and Cooper Rush is trash. I watched him play last week. I was like, what? Like, this guy actually made the roster?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's sometimes when the backup had to come in, they didn't get all the start. In the practice,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't get all the snaps in practice. But I still think Bengals will beat Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Cooper Rush or whatever his name is.
Yeah, and also I think eventually in the next 5 years, teams are going to invest on a quality level backup because the league is changing. There are too many quarterbacks for a lot of teams, and one good example, Jimmy Garoppolo. If this was the NFL 10 years ago, he would have been on another team as a starter.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at that, teams are going to start to realize if your starting quarterback gets hurt, you better have someone who can ride the ship, who has experience, and that's the reason why in Miami they have Tua, but their backup is Teddy Bridgewater. So say Tua gets hurt or something happens, they can go with Teddy Bridgewater, and Teddy Bridgewater is a good example. He got a good contract with Carolina because what he did with New Orleans, and now New Orleans is looking at themselves, crap, we could have kept what's his name, Teddy Bridgewater for the successor of Drew Brees. So now you're going to see, how the NFL is going to change because before we found out that Jimmy was going to be on the roster, like if anything happened to Trey, was anyone confident with Brock Purdy or Nate Sudfeld? No.
No, I wasn't.
So, you know,
I like Purdy, but I don't know how far he would take us, throughout a season. He does seem to be mobile. He seems to have that like it factor about him. If he was a little taller, he might have went a little bit higher in the rounds, people say. But, if I was taller too, I'd be in the NFL too, so.
yeah. So,
But Purdy, I think he'll be a good player, but yeah, we definitely need to stay on our players right now. We just need to stay focused one game at a time because the Seahawks they play us twice and they always have us.
yeah, true.
Next, Houston at Denver.
I said Houston, and the reason I said Houston was because I think they're gonna do the unthinkable this week. They're gonna go into Mile High and they're gonna shut down Russell Wilson.
All right, so Denver versus Houston. So this is another situation where a team that's a developing organization is playing a team that's supposed to be good. Now it's any given Sunday. Now, I think the Texans did pretty well. I don't know if they won or lost, but I think they did pretty well week 1.
They
They
tied.
tied. Yeah.
So
They tied with the Colts.
So I'm taking the upset. I'm taking the upset on this one. I got the Texans.
All right.
I'm crazy. I'm going to take the Texans. I'm not calling this a trap game. My trap game is the Giants one. But I'm taking the Texans. I think the Texans with Lovie Smith, and I had Coach Dante, a good dude, and Coach Dante says that the team is more disciplined than last year. The team is more disciplined. So when you have a disciplined team, that is always a good formula. I'm taking the upset. Got the Texans.
Okay. Here's the other team in our division. Arizona at Las Vegas Raiders.
I got the Cardinals in this game. I think the Raiders are frauds of what happened last week. I think they've been overhyped. And if they can't beat the Cardinals, they're now 0-2 in that division. So I'm taking the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals last week. I think Kansas City is still the best team in that conference, even though they did lose Tyreek Hill. They still have a good team. They still have a good team around Mahomes. So I'm going to take the Cardinals.
Dave, I can't remember who you chose.
Dave chose the Cardinals. I was the one who chose the Raiders.
Okay.
I chose the Raiders because I don't want to root for the Rams, the Cardinals, or the Seahawks. Now this week against the Atlanta Falcons, I think the Rams are going to win. But the Cardinals, I don't want to root for the Cardinals, and they're going to be playing in Las Vegas. There's a good chance that the players are a little bit inebriated before they play that game because they're gonna be in Las Vegas. There's a good chance of that. So I'm going Raiders.
I went with the Cardinals. So maybe everybody in our division gonna be 1-1.
Yeah, I picked the Cardinals because Josh McDaniels is garbage.
Yeah, like I said, someone has to win that division, and like not everyone. Like I remember saying, "Oh, the Raiders are going to win the division. The Chargers are going to win. The Chiefs, the Broncos. Someone is going to finish last in that division." I'm sorry to say that. The Raiders every year they look like they're getting better, but the Raiders are going to be the Raiders as long as I know them, and people can say that they have a better coach. They brought in a bunch of players. They brought in Adams from the Packers, but someone's going to finish at the bottom of this division, and I'm going to say the Raiders. But anyway.
Okay. The team that we lost to, Chicago Bears, at Green Bay.
I think the Packers are going to win this game. And again, Michael, if you're listening, like don't get mad at me, and I'm gonna explain why. Okay, Aaron Rodgers is not Trey Lance. Aaron Rodgers may not have the same weapons as he had last year, but Aaron Rodgers is way better than Justin Fields. The Packers still have some quality defensive players. They still got Bakhtiari at their left tackle. They have that 2 running back system with Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon, and it's gonna be a miracle for the Bears to win. And again, you don't win football games by having the best receivers. You win the football game by having the best 53 players on that field. So I got the Packers winning, but I think the Bears are going to give the Packers a good fight. So I got the Packers.
I picked the Packers because Karen Rodgers owns the Bears.
Still own you.
Yeah, I picked Green Bay. Even though, like I said, I would like to see Green Bay lose because I got this one. Like I said, I had this one Green Bay fan. He sent a message because I posted about my live video in the group. He said, "Don't be posting this mess in here." He said, "And fuck your 49ers." I said, "Okay. Fuck your Green Bay. I hope they lose to Chicago Bears." Even though I know Green Bay is going to beat Chicago. So I wouldn't be mad if Chicago beat the Bears and I got that pick wrong.
Yeah, I picked Green Bay too. I think they're going to bounce back. They're at home in front of their fans. Aaron Rodgers is our Russell Wilson, to the Bears. So he does. He owns them. So
Now we got 2 games on Monday night. We have Tennessee at Buffalo Bills.
Oh, Buffalo. Tennessee, their offense is Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry had a problem with the New York Giants last week. And the Buffalo Bills are way better than the New York Giants. Like I think that they're an AFC contender. Are they a Super Bowl team yet? We will find out. But Buffalo.
Okay. And then we got Minnesota at Philadelphia.
I got Minnesota. Like the Eagles barely got a victory against the Lions. And the Lions, they're rebuilding, but they're very competitive. The Lions put up 35 or whatever points they scored. But the Vikings, I think under their new head coach, I think the Vikings may be the best team in that division. So I'm gonna choose the Vikings.
Yep, that was all the games that been played for week 2.
Yep.
And so I said, okay, I didn't write it down. So I'm going to go there.
Yeah.
I didn't write down what I thought the score was going to be.
Yeah.
Can't remember.
Yeah. Yep.
I said the Vikings too. I said 24-21.
I think I said Vikings 28-17, but don't quote me on that. I have to go back and watch this video again.
Yeah.
I changed it.
Yep. So speaking of on Sunday. For whatever the reason, like there's supposed to be rain. Now it's not 100% like it's gonna be. It's still like a 50-50. But
Mhm.
I'm trying to remember the last time it rained in September, because September is a hot month. September,
Yeah.
October. So that's weird. That's not something normal that happens this time of year. So I'll be a little bit shocked if it rains on Sunday, but I don't think it's gonna like rain like in Chicago
Yeah.
if it does rain. I think it's gonna be like a lot of like very misty, very humid. That's what I think. Because again, Santa Clara this time of year is like in the 80s and 90s. So that's gonna be weird.
Well, there's a 40%
Yeah, I think
chance at this point.
Yeah. Like 6 hours ago, it was like a 50 chance. Now it's in the 40s. So I think as they're able to map out the Friday Saturday weather, I think that they'll finally get a projection. But I don't think it's gonna rain like it rained in Chicago.
I look at it. Bubba was like, "Yeah, let it rain, let it rain."
Yeah, because the last couple of weeks it's been warm. I hate this time of year. Hate this time of year.
I used to drive truck in the Bay Area a lot, and I'd have to drive around Santa Clara, and I'd have to drive to San Francisco and Vallejo, all over. Big Sur. I've driven truck all through there, and the weather is very weird the closer you get to the water. And then I was driving in, it started raining on us. No warning, no nothing. Just started raining, like hailing really bad too. And then a little while later, it just stopped. And then it wasn't predicted or anything. So sometimes the weatherman doesn't know everything. But I know when I go to Santa Clara for the games and stuff, I always get frozen. I'm always frozen. So I always tell my wife and me to, I was like, let's take jackets. I don't care if it's in the summertime, let's take jackets, because when we get over there, the weather might be different, so.
Yeah, that's what I tell people about Bay Area. They come to Bay Area, you better have your jacket. One guy came from someplace where he's from. I said, "Oh," I said, "You better bring your jacket." He said, "Right now, it's hot out here." I said, "I know, but we're gonna be on this other side of town,
Mm-hmm.
of the bay, and watch. You're gonna be cold."
Mm-hmm.
And we got over there. He's like, "Oh, it's cold. You're right."
I know. Like if you are more in like the east part of the city, like basically next to the bay water, it's a bit warmer. But when you're on the other side, which is like the Twin Peaks, that area is always cloudy because the mountain, basically when the fog and the clouds, once it passes by those hills and those mountains, the clouds start to break up. That's why uh, during the year, half the city is cloudy and the other city is sunny, but you still feel that breeze. But when it's hot in like this time of the year, you barely get any clouds in that area. So basically, like 2.5 months of the year, if you live next to the water, next to the Pacific Ocean, then that's when it's hot. Because like people who live out there, like we always get fog and clouds out here. We barely see the sun. So, and if you do see the sun, it's always windy. It's always windy that part, no matter what. That's why I love going to the west side of the city, which is mostly suburbs in that corner anywhere. So it's always windy when the sun's up.
I remember when I'm going to Louisiana, my daddy telling a story. He said, "We used to race rain home." Race rain, what you talking about? He said, "You can look and see the rain coming. and where you say that it's not raining, but you can see it coming. And so we'll see it coming, and we'll run home from school. And he was right. We was out there visiting. All of a sudden, we driving, and it's raining. But you look up ahead of us, there's no rain. And then you go and get past that pot, there's no rain. Like, you look back, you see it still raining. Like, man, that's weird.
You guys want to hear some Niner news?
Yeah.
Jordan Willis just got put on IR. Kamiko Toure was activated.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yep. And well, I'll be tripping off. I'll be like, why do people got to try to start this? They say George Kittle not hurt. They say he don't want to be out there playing. He faking his injury because he don't want to play for Trey. I'm like, come on, y'all, stop it.
Yeah, they're full of it.
Yeah, that's the divide again. You know, the people who like Trey versus the people who like Jimmy, they're going to come up with both sides are going to come up with any kind of argument to say, oh, this is why he's not out there. This is why they're not. No, that, you know, you think if Trey wins the Super Bowl this year, Kittle's not going to be happy that they won the Super Bowl. He's going to be crying, oh, Jimmy didn't win it for me. No, they win it as a team, not individuals. That's funny.
Yeah, I can't wait to this Sunday.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna catch you guys later.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm about to wind down because we've been on here for 2 hours.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me on. I'll talk to you soon.
All
All
right.
right, guys. Thanks for coming. Thanks for having me on, Corey. I appreciate it, buddy. You have a good night, man.
You too. Thank you for coming.
Always, man.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.